Hey, y'all. Mama, I'm in love with the criminal. Hey, y'all. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Hey, Ashley. What's up, girl? So, today we're going to have a little chit-chat, a little gossip session. What y'all want to talk about today? Anything in particular? Okay, I think these are clean. Yeah. What do y'all want to talk about today? So, for those of you guys that don't know, I go live over on Facebook at 6:30 p.m. Central Standard Time almost every night. So if y'all want to start coming over there with me, it's pretty fun. I have amassed quite a following over on Facebook recently, so I'm trying to spend time over there with them too, you know? Because they want to see me too. Mama, I'm in love with the criminal. Put these big cups up here. So how's everybody's Sunday? Everybody doing good? I hope so. I am feeling great. Nate! Come here, Nate! Give him this toast he wants. Hey, what's up, girl? Come get your toast. Okay, Nate. Stop. Yeah. Cinnamon sugar. I already know. Right? What's up, you guys?
Hey.
What? Do you need cinnamon on it? Yeah, I'm on live. Don't. Good thing you didn't. Here you go. Bye, little twerp. Okay, so yeah, I've been going live over there every night at 6:30, and it's been cool. I like it. Now I will tell y'all this. Facebook Reels, they are fucking ruthless over there. Like, people are so fucking mean, dude. Like, Lord, I thought I had trolls here. On Facebook, they're 10 times worse. 10 times worse than they are on TikTok. But you know what? Fuck them. I ain't gonna stop because of no damn troll. Because there's people out there that need to hear my story and hear my message. So that way they know they're not so alone. You know what I mean? That's the purpose of me sharing my stories, is because I want people to know that they're not alone and that they can recover. I mean, look at me. I used to be a crazy junkie on the streets. And now I have my son back. I have a good life, you know? And I worked my ass off to get to this point. And anybody who puts in the work can do the same. It does take work, though. I ain't gonna lie about that. It does take work. Hey, Allison. What's up, girl? You're welcome. I enjoy doing it, so you ain't got to thank me, girl. You don't even have to thank me. I enjoy doing it. I love helping people. It's my passion. It's literally what helps me wake up in the morning, is knowing that I can connect with other humans and maybe help them change their lives, you know? I think if I didn't do this, I would have like a very mundane life, you know? Helping people gives me purpose, and it helps me feel like I'm actually making a change or a difference, you know? Because that's what I want to do. I want to make a change. I want to make a difference in people's lives. I want people to feel like they can come here and hang out with us and all that good stuff. He did, Ashley. My dad did coach softball. How'd you know that? Are you from Hot Springs? Hey, Darlene. How you doing, baby? Hey, one-armed badass. What's your first name, girl? I want to call you by your first name and not one-armed. You know? But helping people is what helps me stay sober. If I didn't help people, I don't know if I would be. I just love it. I love helping people. I love sharing my story. I will tell you guys this. Oh, yeah, Ashley, yeah. I do remember. Or I don't know if I remember you in particular, but I do remember back then. Jesse. Okay, good. Yeah, my dad coached softball, and me and my sister Michelle and Christine, we all played fast pitch softball. So, yeah, I loved it. I remember the Tinkerbells. Y'all had little purple with pink writing on the shirts, right? Because my sister Christine played on that team, my baby sister. So I wanted to tell you guys, that's what I came here to talk to you guys about. So, I want to talk to y'all. So over on Facebook, I have gained like 15,000 followers in the last couple of weeks, last 2 weeks or so. And I want to tell you guys this, okay? They are ruthless on Facebook. Ruthless. I'm used to getting hate comments, you know, but these hate comments are just like, wow, you know? Really? Thank you, Ashley. I really appreciate that, girl. That means a lot to me. A lot of people from my hometown have been finding my social media accounts, and that's really awesome because a lot of people from my hometown knew how bad off I was on drugs once I got older. And so for them to see me change now is a big deal, you know? And it makes me happy, you know, that I can, you know, be changed and help other people. I will tell you this, like, it's just so sad, man. I've seen somebody else just died in Hot Springs from an overdose. And it's like, so many of the people I know there are dying because they are not, they're using drugs, you know? And it's just really sad because these are people I grew up with and went to high school with, you know? And it's hard. I was talking to my husband and I was like, you know, people can't even relapse anymore. Like, you can't afford to go and get high because if you do, you're going to die. It's legit fentanyl everywhere. Everywhere you go and get drugs, the drugs that they're selling are fentanyl. So if you get them, you're going to die. If you go out and get sober for like a year and then relapse, you're going to die. You know? It's not a game anymore. Back in the day, you could go use and not fucking die on the first time. Now, you can't do that. Okay. So, what do you guys do? How do you guys handle hate comments? When you guys get mean hate comments, what do y'all do? Jessie, what do you do, girl? I know you probably get some hate comments too. What do you do whenever you get hate comments? Do you just block them? Like, I have people that are like legit fucking trying to like harm me in my life, which is really crazy to me. Like, I understand not liking somebody, you know, but like going in real life and trying to get them in trouble or get their kids taken away, that's sick. That's sick. And there's so many people like that here on social media who think it's like a game, you know? Like, you're affecting a child's life by taking their mother away from them. And that's what I don't think people think about. Like, do you know my son, he's happy and thriving, and you're trying to get me in trouble by fucking calling the law on me or some bullshit? Like, that's ridiculous, dude. It's ridiculous. But luckily for me, I'm not doing anything wrong, so it doesn't matter. It's still annoying, though. It's fuck. Okay, there we go. And then my other friend is getting harassed too, to the point where people are like saying really bad shit about her. And it's fucked up. Like, if you don't like somebody, like, just don't follow them. You know what I mean? Why do you have to try and make their life a living hell? It makes me sad. It really, really does. So I just made a video about relapse prevention, and I put it up on my Reels. So many people I went to school with have passed away from drug overdoses. It's sad. It really is. It really is. And you ain't lying, girl. You ain't lying. Drugs are taking a whole generation of people, you know. I do my best to try and share and help people stay encouraged Because I know what it's like when you first get sober. You know what I mean? It's hard. It's definitely hard when you first get sober. There's a lot of temptation out there, and yeah, it's just difficult. I'm glad that I'm not new in recovery anymore, because it's hard when you're new. Woo! Okay, I had to clean up this kitchen a little bit. Tomorrow I need to fucking mop in here because it's disgusting. So I made a relapse prevention video. I'm sweating. Sorry, guys. I made a relapse prevention video, and I'm going to tell you all about it real fast. So I have 3 steps to preventing relapse, okay? 3 steps. And anybody can do them. They are super easy steps that you can do at your house anytime. So let's say you're watching TV, and all of a sudden the thought comes in your mind to go out and get high, okay? All of a sudden, you've been doing so good, you've been, staying sober, and all of a sudden this thought comes to your mind, I need to go get high, all right? What you're going to do is you're going to get yourself a piece of paper. Yep, that's right. We're using a pen and a piece of paper because you're going to write some shit down. You're going to get your pen and piece of paper out, and you're going to write down on that pen and piece of paper pros and cons list, okay? The pros of getting high and the cons of getting high. Now, why are you going to do this? The reason why it's so important to write it down, because when you write things down and you can see it and read it, for some reason, I feel like your brain takes it in more. You know what I mean? It processes it more. So write down the pros and the cons. And I want you to be honest. If you really feel like there's some pros, put those pros down. And then I want you to write down all the cons. I can guarantee you that there's going to be more cons on that list than there are pros. Okay? So that's the first step. Second step that you're going to do while you're sitting there with that piece of paper is you're going to write down everything you have to be grateful for. What you're going to do is you're going to think in your mind. I want you to think back to what it was like when you were in active addiction. And then I want you to think about all the things that you have gained now that you're sober. Okay? So if you were homeless when you were in active addiction, I want you to write down how you've gotten a home to live in. If you were if you caught hepatitis C when you were in active addiction and you got it treated in sobriety, I got my hepatitis C treated. If you had your kids taken away when you were in active addiction and you got your kids back, I got my kids back. And I want you to write down every single thing that has changed in your life for the better. Okay? And then number 3, the last step, but probably one of the most important steps, is start snitching on your addiction. Once you write that down, I want you to pick up the phone and I want you to call somebody. I want you to call your friend, your mama, your daddy, your aunt, your uncle. I don't give a damn, your sponsor, whoever. And I want you to sit down with that person and say, hey, I've been triggered. I've been thinking about using, but I'm not picking up, and I'm working through it, and I want to share with you my pros and cons and my gratitude list. Okay? Hey, Jalen, what's up, girl? And I really want y'all to do that, because snitching on your addiction helps you stay accountable, because you're letting somebody else know, hey, I'm struggling. All right? It helps me so much. I will come on social media and tell the whole damn world that I'm struggling, because it helps me stay accountable, you know? I'm going to the shelter at 4 years sober, and I'm going to push through it sober. Hey, Holly, what happened? Why do you have to go to the shelter? What happened, girl? And yeah, you will go. Listen to me, because what's going to happen, Holly? So you got to go to the shelter, right? If you went in there and got high, it would only make your situation 10 times worse, right? So whatever situation you're having right now, staying sober is the best thing you can do. The best thing you can do. It might be hard to stay sober through the situation because it's stressful, it's depressing, it's upsetting, you know what I mean? But if you stay sober, it'll be a lot better. And you probably get help from people. If you go to meetings, have you tried reaching out to people in your community that can help you out, maybe? I think it's really important to connect with people, and so that way you don't feel so alone. So I hope if everything's going okay, divorce and life, I'll be okay. Okay, girl. Okay. I know you will be. I know you will be. I have faith in you. And you know what? just like you said, you're going to go through it sober. You're going to go through it sober. Because, like I said, only doing some stupid shit, going out and getting high, man, it just takes I wish I thought back like this back then, but when I was in active addiction, I thought getting high was going to make every situation better. You know what I'm saying? And it was because I was trying to escape. Instead of dealing with the problem, I wanted to escape. I wanted to forget it. I wanted to act like it wasn't there and just push it onto the back burner. You know what I mean? And that's what my life was like for 15 years. I had a life full of not facing anything, just pushing it on the back burner. And so once I got sober, there were so many things that I had pushed back that I need to face. You know, for instance, my health. For the longest time, I just neglected my body, neglected myself. And, you know, I had hepatitis C. Getting back on, getting treatment for hepatitis C was important. Kalen is drinking, and he said I can't tell him not to drink. Oh, shit. So he's in a rebellious stage, huh? Well, I'll tell you this, Tiffany. If he's drinking right now, like there's no talking to him. You know what I mean? So when he gets sobered up in the morning, I would sit down and have a talk with him, let him know that his drinking is affecting you. It's not like if Neil was doing that, I'll tell you what I would do. Same thing I'm telling you is that I know I can't talk to him when he's messed up because he doesn't hear me. So the next morning I would be like, listen, like I have to tell you how serious this is for me. Like, why don't you respect my sobriety? Like, to me, that's a spit in my face. Like, I don't care if you're sober. I'm going to do what I want. You know what I mean? And talk to him and ask him if he's struggling. If he's struggling, then he needs to go to his doctor and he needs to go up on his medication. So that way he can get balanced out again, you know? That's right, Holly. That's right. Going to be 1 year since I OD'd on Dilaudid. Hey, that's awesome. Congratulations. Why does he want to drink? Ask him. Like, why do you want to drink? Is there a reason why? Is it because you're depressed? Is it because you're angry? Is it because you feel like you deserve it? Because I feel like that's what happens in our brains. So he's been doing really good for a while and been sober for a while. I feel like what happens in our brains is we start thinking we deserve it. I'm doing good. We deserve it. Just a little treat, just a little kickback. But what that ends up happening is it ends up fucking us up, you know, and he might be doing fine right now while he's drinking, but it will lead to something worse. And I wish he could see that, you know. Also, does he want to teach the boys this? Does he want to teach them that when life gets tough, we just drink alcohol and we check out, you know? Who are you talking to, dude? I'm not angry. See you later. Okay. I just blocked him. That's like a troll or something. It's hard, man. It's hard when one of you is staying sober and the other one is flipping and flopping. You know what you might need to do is get super focused on your recovery. Like start doing meetings, start maybe reaching out to other women in recovery and asking them if they'll sponsor you and mentor you. Because this is a time that you're going to need to have your recovery the strongest. You know what I mean? While he's doing this stupid shit, you got to make sure that you're on point. Because the littlest thing can push you off the edge and you'll be right there with him drinking. And if you go out and start drinking, you're going to relapse on cocaine. You know? I don't really like giving people ultimatums, you know, but I would let him know, like, you can't continue on like this. Like, I don't want to live like this. I don't want to live with my husband drunk all the time and checking out of life, you know? And I would just be honest with him about it. Hey, Ashley, that's the only thing you can do. But you need to be focusing on your sobriety, okay? And you need to be getting real real into it. In fact, Tiffany, if I was you, I would shut down those Zoom meetings for your CSA, and I would get involved in some recovery stuff and start focusing on that for yourself, you know? Or have somebody else run the meeting for you so you can start focusing on your recovery. Okay. So what we're going to do now is we're going to do my mask that I do every weekend with you guys. Okay? Okay. Why's my hair falling out? Ugh. A lot of people would say, you should leave him. You should leave him. I don't think that's the answer. I don't think the answer is to leave somebody every time they start struggling, you know, because we all go through our struggles. Nobody is perfect. Okay. Where is my shit? Oh, here it is. And, yeah. So, okay, y'all, this is what we're going to do. If you guys have anything you want to talk about, go ahead and let me know. This week, I'm going to reach out to some people to come tell their stories for my YouTube channel. So I'm excited about that. I need to get more serious about my YouTube channel. I used to post on there all the time, and I've been slacking really, really bad. Hey, Monica. So I want to get back to that. I try to post these videos from TikTok on there, and that helps a little bit, but I'm slacking really bad. I also got to get back into doing my podcast that I was doing, which I need to get a hold of Ty because we were going to do it together. Okay, there's that. This is the Ordinary AHA BHA peeling solution, and it really helps my skin like stay nice. I did have a couple of breakouts, but I think I'm fixing to start my period. I'm not sure, but I think it. I was telling a story over on Facebook earlier about a young lady who was on Suboxone. Let me tell you the story. So this girl was on Suboxone, and she got on it, and that's the first time she's ever been able to stay sober. Hey, honey. And she was so proud of herself. But her family members were not. They would shame her. Anytime she tried to celebrate her sobriety, they would say, well, you can't say you're sober because you're on subs, right? Every time. And every time she got another 30 days, she would post about it on her social media. Like, hey guys, I got another 30 days. And every time she would post about it, her family members would come underneath her post and say, you're not really sober, you're on subs. So you can imagine not having support from her family was fucking hurtful, you know? Well, one day she went out and she relapsed and she died. And so now, I bet her family wishes she was on Suboxone. And that's what happens to so many people because of the judgment from other pieces of shit. I made a video on Reels because this lady was commenting on my page saying, you know, you're not sober, you're still getting high, you might as well be doing heroin. And she used the 12 steps. She said, you need to work the AA program, the NA program. Maybe if you would do that, you'd be sober, right? So I took comments and I screenshotted them and I made a video. And I was like, first of all, lady, nobody in the 12-step programs would ever, no sponsor should ever tell you what medication to be on. Because sponsors are not doctors. Okay? And number two, I don't give a fuck what you think. Right? I don't care what she thinks. What matters to me is that I'm able to be a mother to my son. You know, I don't think some people think about that. I don't think they think about us mothers who were strung out. And now, Nate, pick up your trash, Nate. Please. Alexander.
What?
You know what I said? Pick up your trash.
I will in a second.
Okay. I don't think people think about the moms and the dads who had children who were struggling with addiction, and now that they're on their subs, they're able to be moms and dads, you know? Well, I mean, it honestly, I don't tell people whether they're clean or sober, okay? So if that helps you stay on the right path, and it helps you in your recovery, I absolutely support that, okay? I have friends that are on medical marijuana, and it helps them stay sober. It's like their MAT treatment. And so I don't like telling people whether or not they're clean and sober, but I would say you are in recovery and you're sober. As long as you're taking it as prescribed, then yeah. And that's what I say. I say, if you're prescribed medication and you're in recovery, as long as you're taking your medicine as it's prescribed, then you're in recovery. Because here's the thing, it's the intent, okay? What is your intention behind using medical marijuana? Is your intention behind it because it helps you with your mental health, it helps with your anxiety, or is it because you want to get stoned out of your mind, right? It's all about your intentions. Same with Suboxone, okay? If your intentions with being on subs is to abuse them and get high, then no, you're not in recovery, but your intentions are using them as prescribed to be better, then yes, you know? And nobody can really tell you whether or not you're in recovery or not, because nobody knows your intentions but you know? Don't let other people judge you and make you feel bad for something that helps you. Because a lot of people will try to do that, especially here online. I'll tell you this, TikTok is a lot more accepting and open-minded than any platform that I've been on. Because when I came here, I didn't support anything. I was like a totally AA person, right? And then I came here and I started learning about all the different pathways to recovery, and I started learning that, you know, what works for somebody else might, you know, if it doesn't work for me, that doesn't mean it's not going to work for somebody else. And a lot of the times what will happen is people will judge you because they had a bad experience. And that happens to me a lot with Suboxone. A lot of people judge me and say, you know, well, I got high on my Suboxone. Or I overtook my Suboxone. Well, baby, that's you. That's you. That ain't me. You know? If you are successful and thriving, and you keep doing what you're doing, honey, don't worry about what anybody else says. I know it's hard sometimes to, you know, not let people's opinions of you get to you, but it's the best thing you can do. Because listen, they're hating from outside of the club. They can't even get in. You know what I'm saying? They're not even, think about it. If you're on social media and you're posting your life and you're sharing your whole story for everybody to see, that is brave. That is courageous. Okay? Somebody who's sitting behind the computer screen typing something at you, like I said, they're hating from outside the club. They can't even get in. They're not even on the same level as us. Hey, what's up, Emily? How are you doing, baby? You're still clean? Good. I'm proud of you. That's what I have to tell myself now that I'm on Facebook Reels, because them motherfuckers are ruthless over there. Like, I need y'all to, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new series here on my page where I bring over the worst hate comments that I get on my Facebook Reels. And I'm going to bring them over here and I'm going to read them to you guys. You want to do that? I think it'll be fun. So, how's your boyfriend interrupted? Bring those hate comments and shine a light on those fuckers right over here. So we can all laugh. It's just crazy to me how, like, TikTok, for real, you guys, I mean, I thought I got hate here. It's great over here. Y'all are so amazing. I really have never experienced anything like Facebook Reels. It's pretty crazy over there. Okay, now what I want to do. Now I want to use Mama, I'm in love with the criminal. We're going to use this Baby Smooth Glycolic Peel and Carrying Oil. Okay? Carrying oil, whatever that means. Okay. There we go. I need to go live over on my other TikTok account too, because I haven't went live over there in forever. Hey y'all. It's so quiet today in here. Y'all are being really quiet. That's okay though. Hey man, what's up, baby? Mama, I'm in love with the criminal. I'm just chilling and talking to everybody. I missed you guys, so I wanted to come on. I was just telling everybody that we're going to start a new series where I go through my hate comments on my Facebook page and I bring them over here and I read them so we can all see the ignorance that's on Facebook, because it's pretty wild. And this is azelaic acid suspension. My weekend was very good, girl. I honestly just chilled here at the house with the boy and relaxed. I've been looking for an apartment for me and my husband and my son to move into, because we're going to be moving out soon. And so I'm just trying to find a good apartment that's, in a good area, and in the right school zone and all that kind of stuff, And I'm nervous. All of a sudden, I started getting nervous about moving out. I've been so ready for so long, but I don't know. I just get nervous now. Okay, see you later, baby. I guess I'm getting nervous because we've been here for so long and I've been comfortable here, But it's time for a change. It's time for us to get out and spread our wings. Because we rent this house from my mother-in-law. So it's like comfort, you know what I mean? Me and my husband, it's our comfort zone. Oh, there we go. I do too, Josh. I do too. That's what I'm saying. I do too, honey. And moving sucks, you know what I mean? So now, this is 7 years of stuff we have accumulated in this house, right? Just crap. And so what I'm going to do when we get paid this Friday is I'm going to go to Walmart and buy a bunch of Rubbermaid bins, okay? And then I'm going to take these Rubbermaid bins and go through all of Nate's toys and get rid of the ones he doesn't want and donate the other ones. Go through my husband's clothes, get rid of the stuff he doesn't wear and donate the other ones. And just go through everything. Like, I'm going to go through all my makeup and get rid of the makeup I don't wear. I'm going to go through my jewelry. Like, everything is going to downsize. Everything. Okay? Because I can't take all this shit with me into an apartment, So, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's what we're going to have to do, is size down. Now, we've been living in this house like it's an apartment anyway, because we basically just live upstairs. So it won't be that bad like of a deal. I'm just like dreading moving. You know what I mean? Moving sucks. Where's my damn lip gloss at? Y'all know I have to have my lip gloss for my lips. Well, damn it, I don't know where it went. Oh, well. Yeah, we're trying to find like a little townhouse thingy or a condo or something like that. Because they're pretty cheap here. I don't know how much y'all's rent are, but I'm looking for a 2-bedroom, 2-bath, and it's like $978 for the rent, plus like a $200 deposit. Well, my mother-in-law is going to be selling this house, and so it's not like we're being rushed. She just said, she wants us to start looking, but yeah, we need to move. Absolutely. Absolutely. You're paying $650 to live in the closet? Man. That sucks, but I understand. It's crazy how they just jack up the rent and everything for everybody. And I guess the reason why I'm kind of getting nervous a little bit is because it's really a lot of stuff is happening right now in the world, and I don't know if y'all have noticed yet, but like food is super expensive. Like it's a lot more expensive than it was, 6 months ago. And I can tell because how much money I spend at the grocery store, And I'm afraid like that shit's just going to get out of control, I mean, we both work full-time jobs, so we have income coming in. It just makes me nervous, I'm trying to not let it get to me though. So yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy how much they jacked everything up. So I haven't been telling you guys, but I have been on a major lifestyle change. And I have went from 230 pounds, and I just weighed myself this morning, and I'm down to 215. I've lost 15 pounds, you guys. Like I have legit been kicking ass and taking names, but I'm not going to get online and make videos about it because every single time I do, I fall back and then I'm embarrassed, And so I'm really trying to work hard on just staying consistent. I even asked my husband, I was like, can you tell? And he was like, I can tell in your face. He's like, I can tell in your face that your double chin doesn't look as pronounced as it normally does. And I was like, yes. Hey, Jill. Because I feel like I'm losing weight too. Like I feel it. But I'm really, really trying hard. I'm only drinking water. I'm not eating a lot because I don't move around a lot. So I'm trying to take in less and less calories. Yeah, I always fuck it up because I speak on it. And then I get embarrassed and people make fun of me because of it. And I'll tell you, like I have a whole fan page of people that make fun of me and talk about me over on Facebook. And it's fucking, it's depressing sometimes, seeing all these people who don't even know me saying these horrible things about me, So yeah. Hey, what's up, Daisy? Hey, Alexa. I'm glad you guys are in here. Come on in and hang out. So that's what I've been doing. I've been literally eating the tiniest amount of food, basically. And luckily for me, I haven't been struggling too bad at it. But I've been really, really trying hard. What I want to do is I want to get down to about 170, 165, and I will be really happy. If I can get down to that amount, you guys, oh gosh, it'll be amazing. I'll be happier than I've ever been. And I will feel better. And once I start feeling better, then I'll be better, Yeah, that's what happens. So when we get sober, like if I don't find, like what happened to me is I was at home and I didn't find something to fill that time. And so what will happen is you get bored and you want to eat, It is very hard. It is very hard. But you know what? It's doable. So don't get discouraged. I would eat a lot like in the evening time. And so that's what was really, really fucking me up is that I would eat so late at night and then there was nowhere for the food to go. You know what I mean? Oh, I want to read some stuff to you guys because I told y'all we were going to start doing this. So there's 5 states. This is the 5-point guide to the cycle of addiction. Okay. So addiction starts out with pain. Okay. Pain, trauma, insecurity, low self-esteem, depression, pain. Okay. Once you get that pain, then you pick up and you start using something like drugs, alcohol, food, sex, work, relationships to distract you. Then you get that temporary relief, that temporary distraction. After that comes the consequences. Then the shame and the guilt leading to pain or low self-esteem. So I thought this was pretty awesome because I've never heard it put like that. So it starts out with pain, then you pick up, then you have temporary relief, and then you get the consequences of using drugs, and then that shame and guilt comes piling on, and the process starts over again. Listen to this. You don't have to not use drugs for 20 years today. You don't have to give up white bread for all eternity right now. This one day at a time cliche, when taken plainly, is no less profound than any. Be in the moment. Eastern wisdom I've since encountered. Today is all I have. So basically today's all we have. So I don't need to be focused on tomorrow or what I did yesterday, right? I can't sit here and go, oh my gosh, I'm never going to make it to 20 years, or I'm never going to make it to 15 years. All I can do is take care of today. And today will go, and then tomorrow will come, and I'll take care of tomorrow. You know? Because here's the thing. You shouldn't be ashamed now. And that's what I tell a lot of really crazy stories over on here and on my Facebook Reels. And I've been sharing those stories, and people get angry because people want to see us ashamed. People think because we struggled with the disease of addiction that we should be internally like holding our heads down. No, honey, no. Today I'm a different person. Today I'm sober and thriving and helping people and working a job and taking care of my son. Like, I don't have to walk around with my head held between my legs anymore because I'm not ashamed anymore. Today I'm proud of the person I am today. You know, I'm proud of me, and that's what you got to do. You got to be proud of the person that you are today. Okay, so let's read about this. Are y'all ready? Step 1 invites us to admit that we are using some external thing, a relationship, a drug, or a behavior as the power that makes our life livable. Hey, Mallory, is that why some people try to make me feel bad? Hey, Curly Noodle, what's up, honey? Who's trying to make you feel bad? What do you mean? Oh, because they want you to feel ashamed. That's what you mean. You know, honestly, I don't know why people are nasty online, if that's what you're talking about. I think a lot of the times because people can comment stuff and you can't get to them, that they feel like ballsy. You know what I mean? Like, especially here on TikTok, and all the people can just comment and say something, and I can't come through the screen and beat their ass. You know what I mean? Hey, Dave. What's up, babe? It's okay. I'm glad you're here tonight. That's okay. And so they get brave, you know what I mean? But I do think people that don't understand the disease of addiction, or they have somebody in their life that is addicted and they're angry and they're resentful, okay? I think that they feel like we should be, you know, hiding in a dark cave somewhere. It's kind of like those of us that choose to recover out loud and we share our stories on social media. You know, some people think we shouldn't do that. You know, it's like, no. If you live in shame all your life, you're never going to heal, you know? And so that's why I don't let people shame me anymore. You're right, they wouldn't. Okay. So misery does love company. And I'll tell you this, like, I'm so serious about this, you guys. It has taken me a long time, but I have had to learn this. Anyone who is spending all their time talking about you, making content about you, commenting on your family, the way you look, what you do, how you're set, anything, they're sick. That's an obsession, okay? And it's unhealthy, all right? It's crazy. to be that obsessed with one person that all you do is focus on that person. It's very unhealthy, you know? Exactly, Dave, exactly. And I honestly feel bad for people that are like that. Okay, it asks us if this technique is making our life difficult. By admitting we are powerless over whatever it is, we are saying we need a new power, that this current source of power is more trouble than it's worth. So when we're using drugs and alcohol, that's our power, right? That's what's making us feel better. That's what's helping us escape reality. We're using drugs and alcohol to change the way we feel and to make us feel better, right? Or make us feel like we can do more skinnier, more prettier, whatever the case may be. Okay? And so by admitting that we're powerless over that, we're admitting that we need to find something to fill that gap, to take the spot of what drugs and alcohol was. I have made this admission many times, and I make it still each day. It began with the admission that I was powerless over drugs and alcohol. They were the most obvious and troublesome power sources that I was using. The unmanageability here meant the negative consequences in my life were stacking up, and importantly, once I start with drinking drugs, I don't know when or if I will stop. How many of you guys, when you started drinking and drugging, you just lose all power? You lose total control and you can't stop. When I pick up drugs and alcohol and I put it in my body, it flips a switch. Okay? It flips a switch. Hey, Kyle. And when that switch gets flipped, it's like, dude, a freight train couldn't stop me, because it's like my brain needs it. My body needs it. Hey, Stephanie, what's up, girl? I'm doing good. And all I can focus on is wanting more and needing more and wanting more, right? It's like, have you ever sat and thought about that, you guys? Like how our brain works and how it makes us want more and more and more. Like, it's really crazy. Hey, James, what's up? I love you too. And so that's what differentiates us from regular people that are not addicts or alcoholics, okay? That is the phenomenon of craving, okay? No other person has that, right? Only addicts and alcoholics have that phenomenon of craving, that when we place these substances into our body, we go off the chain, right? It's like, zoop. But what do we do to feel comfortable and in my skin without drugs? Okay, so that is the question, right? How do we get sober and then become okay with being sober and become okay with being the person we are and not feel out of place? Okay, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. The first 1 or 2 years of my sobriety, I was like the most awkward girl you have ever met in your whole entire life. I still am. Like, I couldn't talk to people in public. Like, I would stutter over my words. I couldn't order a pack of cigarettes at the gas station because I was so used to being high when I did everything that being sober, I felt out of place. I felt like I was broken, like I wasn't working. But guess what? No, I was actually functioning amazing. I had just gotten to this point where in my mind, being high was better. And it's actually not. It was actually taking away from me. It was actually making me not be able to function, right? I was so delusional, thinking that substances were making me better when they were taking away and sucking the life out of me. But when you're fucking high all the time, your mind sees this version of you that it wants to see. And so that version of me when I was high on meth was like smart, outgoing, productive, getting everything done, a hard worker. And that's the person I saw. If I stepped outside of my body and I watched me today while I was tweaking, I would see a very different version. I would see somebody who's out of control, disheveled, falling over herself, manic. And it would be sad. I would cry for myself if I seen myself the way I was when I was in active addiction. When I was working at Kroger, I thought I was the best worker. I thought that I was so amazing, right? I thought I was doing so great. If I could step back and look at myself now, back then, I know how I looked. I know I looked crazy as fucking hell. And now I know why the lady I worked with got so angry with me all the time because she saw it. She saw that I was full of shit and that I was high off my mind. You know what I mean? And they had given me chance after chance after chance. So how do we get to a point in our sobriety where we are comfortable with ourselves and we like to be the person that we are? Well, it's not going to happen overnight, okay? It takes time to learn how to love ourselves, all right? So my suggestion to you is get into therapy. Start working a 12-step program. I'm telling you right now, I love the 12 steps. I don't like the AA and NA meetings because I feel like a lot of people are judgmental, but I love the steps themselves. If you can find a good sponsor to work with you through the steps, like I really think it's beneficial. I think every person should try it out. But becoming okay with who you are, it's a process. You have to get to know yourself all over again. Guess what? When I got sober and I had 1 or 2 years, I didn't even know what I liked doing anymore. Hey, Amber, I didn't even know. I thought my husband was going to fall out of love with me. You know what I mean? I didn't know if he wanted to be with me. And I felt like I was a different person. I was so afraid and so awkward because I had been using drugs for 15 years. I didn't know the person I was. I'm still learning who I am, you know? I can't stand the God thing. Yeah, so that's a hard thing for a lot of people. And so, and the thing is, they do talk about God. They can say that it's not a religious program and all, it's spiritual, but for people who do not believe in God, it does say it in there, so I can understand why it could be, offensive or whatever. It took me years to start being okay with myself and loving myself. Yeah, so back to what I was telling you guys about my awkwardness, okay? So I'm walking around in life and I am so uncomfortable, right? Because I feel like I'm out of place, like I'm not right? But I was right. See, doing drugs for 15 years, it changes your perception of life. And so what I was perceiving to be, wrong with me was actually what was right with me, and what was right with me was actually what was wrong with me, you know? And so I was trying so hard to be the Nicole that was high on meth, the person that I thought that was productive, the person that I thought was fun and that people liked, you know what I mean? It's really hard. Let me read a little bit more to y'all. Are y'all ready? Okay. The very act of drinking or using drugs sets me on a course that I am unable to reliably arrest. It is admittedly more subtle when applied to pornography and overeating, but it is still clear that I have to structure my thinking around these behaviors, and that the structure can't be based on compulsive behavior. To return to my point about two minds, a divided self, my experience of that was as follows. So listen, I believe us addicts and alcoholics, like he's saying, it's like good and evil, okay? We have two personalities, right? We have our drug person and then our sober person. And I feel like now that I'm sober, sometimes this drug person tries to come over here and tries to get in and say, hey, come back to me. But then the sober person is like, no, you have an amazing life today. You don't want to go back to that life, right? I feel like it's a polar, it's like kind of like being bipolar almost, but it's like it's an internal fight with our own selves, right? I'm not battling anybody else. It's my addiction, which is inside of me. It's me that I'm battling. It's my two minds, like we're about to talk about. So let's listen. When I first heard about the program and the idea of abstinence was explained, I thought both, fuck that, and a kind of low resonant thud of acceptance that abstinence would be my path. One of the many paradoxes of the spiritual life I encountered here lies in the trite maxim, one day at a time, as in, just try not to drink or use today. Try not to eat unhealthily today, and try not to act out sexually today. I knew they meant you can't ever drink again, no more chocolate ever, and you are now celibate. Your ballroom days are over, baby. And they do mean that. If you are a serious alcoholic addict, you cannot drink or use. If you have food issues, you will always need structure around eating. We have to accept it. Where the one day at a time homespun thanks Nan wisdom kicks in is with the rather zen and incontrovertible truth that life is experienced in the present. Beyond today, your projections of life are conceptual. Okay, so let's talk about the whole one day at a time thing. I really like that. So you guys have heard all the sayings that they say in AA and recovery. One day at a time. It works if you work it. Keep coming back. One of the mistakes that I always made in the past when I would get sober was I would begin to focus on the future. I would get so far ahead of myself. I could be one day sober and I'm thinking about what's happening 6 months from now. Okay? Biggest mistake I could ever make in my recovery, especially early recovery, is projecting myself into the future, right? Because what would happen then is I would be thinking about and stressing out about whether or not I would be able to, go to the ball in 6 months from now, or celebrate somebody's birthday because they drink alcohol. That's literally next year. You know what I mean? Like, I would be thinking of things that were not even like close to coming up, and I would be worrying about it, thinking, am I going to be able to make it? Am I going to be able to stay sober? Am I going to relapse? And that set me up for failure because I was constantly, focused on then instead of what was going on in the present right now. And I think that's why they tell us one day at a time, because they know that most of us addicts have a hard time with instant gratification. Oh, duh. And so part of that instant gratification is wanting to be 20 years sober when we're one day sober, right? Wanting to have all the things back in our life that a person who's been sober for 30 years, but we've only been sober for a month, right? So like when I got sober, I wanted my life to be better then. I wanted to get my son back in my custody right away. I wanted to have a home to live in right away. I wanted to have the most amazing job ever now. And so it's hard to get used to like actually having to be present in today, what's going on right now. It's hard whenever you're so used to either being checked out of life or projecting yourself so far into the future or the past, because I do know some people struggle with looking back, reminiscing about the old times, right? Staying present, having to learn to stay present is difficult, especially when you're used to getting high all the time, Also, I think that for some of us, being present is hard because we feel like we have lost out on so much time. Okay? So, for me, a lot of the times I feel immense guilt, a lot of guilt and shame because of all the time that I missed out with my family. I missed out on 15 years of my dad's birthdays, celebrating with him. I missed out on 5-6 years of my son's, 2 or 3 years of my son's life, And I think that that affects us and we feel bad, and so it's easy to fall back into thinking about the old days or worrying about what's to come. I honestly struggled so many years with being so worried about the next day. And what it did was it took me out of the day that I was in. So I wasn't able to enjoy or build memories or focus on anything except for the next day, Hey, Billy, what's up, babe? I sent you, I just followed you so you can message me, okay? I just met my daughter for the first time in 16 years. That's awesome, Josh. Congratulations, man. Hell yeah. Congratulations. How did that make you feel? I'm really happy for you. I really, really am, okay? I'm really proud of you. What was I saying? Okay, listen up, you guys. Here we go. You don't have to give up white bread for all eternity right now. You hear me? You don't have to give up white bread for all eternity now. Where'd it go? You don't have to drink for 20 years today. You don't have to give up white bread for all eternity right now. And if you do make it through today and wake up tomorrow, what does it really matter that you didn't act out yesterday? I mean, you're not accumulating tokens for punitive pleasure. This one day at a time cliche, when taken plainly, is no less profound than any be in the moment Eastern wisdom I've since encountered. Today is all I have. Now that I am 14 and a half years clean, one day at a time, I like to riff on this concept like I'm Charlie Parker. When I feel like I want to act out sexually, I surrender it. I don't act out. Then the next day or even an hour later, I think, imagine I had done that. It would be over now anyway, and I would have detonated my family. Okay, that's a great thing. So what he says is when he thinks about, having extramarital affairs, having sex with somebody, or going out and getting drunk and high, and he works through it and he says, nope, I'm not going to do it. I have today. I'm staying sober. And he makes it, and he doesn't go out and get high, or he doesn't go out and have, the affair. Then an hour or two from that, he thinks back to that point and says, wow, if I had went out and gotten high or had that affair, my whole life would be over. Like, I would have fucked my whole shit up. You know what I mean? And so reflecting on what could have been and seeing that, hey, I made the right choice. I'm staying sober. I didn't go backwards. You know what I mean? It helps me to be able to sit down, make my pros and cons list, look at the things that I don't want to do, right? Writing down like, hey, the pros of getting high on meth are, I'll have energy. It'll feel good. That's it. Cons are, I'll lose custody of my son. I'll lose my job. I'll look like an asshole. And all kinds of other things. I can write millions of cons that would go with it, But being able to look back at it and say, like, I succeeded. I didn't pick up. I did it. I think that's a big deal. And that helps me a lot too. So, okay. Step 1 means you can change. It means surveying the landscape of your life, your family relationships, your working life, your sexual behavior, your eating, your use of your phone, drugs and alcohol, the way you spend money, and asking, am I happy with this? Is this how I want to live? If there is a behavior or problem that lurches out garishly, some glaringly obvious looming catastrophe that this surveillance reveals, then it is here that you can take step 1. I am powerless over this, and my life has become unmanageable. So, now that I'm sober, of course I'm not using drugs, but I can do the same thing. I can look in my life and look at all aspects of my life and ask myself, am I really happy with this? And so I've done that recently, and so I looked at my food intake and the way my weight has gained since I got sober. And I asked myself, am I happy with this? Do I want to make a change? Yes, I want to make a change. And I'm on the right path. I'm on the steps, making steps in the right direction. And that's what you got to do, Even though I'm sober doesn't mean I don't struggle with other things in my life. And then I ask myself this, am I happy, in my home and how? No, I want to get more organized. I want to clean up. I want to get rid of the clutter, In every aspect of my life, I want to improve. You know what I mean? Just like I have been able to stay sober, I want to improve every part of my life. And you know what? I'm not trying to put pressure on any of you guys or make y'all do the same thing. But this helps me, right? When you have been sober for a while, been sober for 7 years, you can become complacent, okay, and get stuck. And that's what's happened to me. I've got to a point in my sobriety where I'm kind of just like, you know what I mean? Stagnant. And so I need to do something. I need to wake myself up. And so focusing on things that can change in me and how I can become better, that's what I'm going to do. So I think it's a great thing to do. Okay, this unmanageability concept is interesting too, and as well as the more obvious interpretation of chaos and disorder, there is a deeper, scarier meaning. The first aspect in my case was plainly observable. Unpaid debts, hospital visits, jobs lost, relationships lost, friends holding up their hands and reversing out of my life. I was creating chaos. Having a can of break before putting the kiddos to bed. Hey, girl. Still trying to get out of financial hole, but I wouldn't be this far if I was still using. Exactly, Curly. Exactly. That's how you got to look at it. And I understand about finances. It's hard, okay? And so, how was your life unmanageable when you were in active addiction? Anybody want to talk about it? Do any of you guys want to share how your life became unmanageable? If you will, put it in the comments and let me know, and I'll share with you guys how my life had become unmanageable. I had the best credit when I was younger. I had credit cards. I paid off all my shit. I had like over a 700 credit score. Like I was doing good. I ruined all that. I had to file bankruptcy because I was $65,000 in credit card debt. And guess what? I have nothing to show for it. Nothing to show for it. Losing my jobs. Getting fired all the time. And I was a good worker, but I was high. And they knew it, so they had to let me go, you know. Not being around my family or my friends. Wrecking my cars. Not taking care of my cars, you know. Even took money out of retirement funds for drugs. Yeah. Lived in a tent. Yeah. Yep. Rachel, homeless. Yep. Everything was falling apart. My marriage, my life with my daughter and my grandson. Yep. Totally. And I didn't even have relationships with my family. I totally ghosted my family for like years because I was so ashamed to go around them. And also, they weren't going to support my drug addiction. They weren't going to let me use around them. And so I would rather not go over there because I couldn't get high over there. You know what I mean? Lying to family members just to pay the electric bill. Yep. Stole my mom's rent check. Yep. Yep. And listen to me, Josh. I did the same thing with my dad. My dad had this lockbox, right? And in this lockbox, he would keep, like, his credit cards. And then there was this other thing that was like a safe, but it was, like, all quarters. Just, like, thousands of quarters. Well, I broke into my dad's safe, and I stole his credit cards, right? And I went to the bar and took all of my friends and was buying everybody drinks, right? But I stole that from my dad. I stole his credit card and I used it. And when the bill came back, he was pissed and I got in so much trouble. But that was part of my addiction, you know? I was desperate. I really wanted to go around with these people. And guess what? Those people I was buying all those drinks for, they were nowhere to be found when I went to prison. All those friends that I thought I had, nowhere to be found. You know who was there, though? My mom and dad. They came and visited me every Sunday. All the people that I thought were my friends in active addiction were nowhere to be found. So y'all get it. Y'all understand the unmanageability because I see all the unmanageable things y'all are writing down. So that's good. I'm glad that you guys are seeing that. You know, when I first tried to get sober, like many, many years ago, I can remember my sponsor asking me, how has your life become unmanageable? Hey, Summer, thank you. And I was like, oh, my life is fine. My life is great. My life isn't unmanageable. What are you talking about? And she looked at me like, and she was like, Nicole, you're in a 30-day residential treatment program. I mean, it can't be that great, you know? And I was tricking myself. I was saying that everything was okay and that I was doing great when I was fucking hitting rock bottom. I had lost everything. I had ruined my credit. I had wrecked my car. I had lost my jobs. Everything was going downhill, you know? I had followed another well-known 12-step trope. First, my using was fun, then fun with problems, then just problems. The positive aspects of my character were becoming redundant. It didn't matter that I was bright or kind or talented. These traits were being diluted to the point of irrelevance by the seeping negativity of my addiction. The unmanageability, though, has a disturbing and, in my case, demonstrable clause. When I yield control to that part of myself, when I drink or use or say fuck it around any destructive behavior, I don't know when I'll get my life back or what state it will be in when I do. You hear that? So when he says fuck it and relapses or goes out and gets high, he gets so bad off that he doesn't know if he'll make it back. He doesn't know if his life will be okay because he throws everything out the window. And I think that's what all of us do. We just throw everything out the window and we go haywire. Oh, how did I get my credit score back up? Girl, I filed bankruptcy. Listen to this. I filed bankruptcy and they said 7 years it'll take to have my credit back. 3 years later, they were sending me credit cards in the mail. And I got one and I charged it and then I pay it off. Charged it and I would pay it off. But my credit's still not as good as my husband's. My husband's is way better than mine. So yeah, when we say fuck it, all shit's going downhill, right? I'm fucking losing everything, dude. And that's what addicts and alcoholics are like. Us real addicts and alcoholics, when we pick up, we don't know, we can't stop. It's like once you pop, you can't stop. We're off to the races. We're going downhill, Hey, Kale. The unmanageability at its heart means that there is a beast in me. Ooh, I like that. There is a motherfucking beast in me. It is in me still. I live in negotiation with a shadow side that has to be respected. There is a wound. I believe that this is more than a characteristic of addiction. I think that it is a part of being human, to carry a wound, a flaw, and again, paradoxically, it is only by accepting it that we can make progress. So inside of us is a beast. The beast is addiction. It's addiction. And he's saying that in recovery, that he is negotiating with that other side of him, right? So staying sober, we have our beast put to sleep. He is resting, right? But that beast is inside of us, and he's fucking doing pull-ups and push-ups. And at any time, if we fall back on our fucking light, on our shit, then we could go back out, and that beast will come right back out like he ain't never been asleep. Okay, how many of you guys have relapsed after a significant time of sobriety, 6 months or more?
What doing?
And you relapse. Just talking to everybody. You go out and you pick up, and it's like you never left off. Shit just starts going downhill quick, right? At least that's how it is for me. What's up, baby? You want to come say hi to everybody? What's wrong? You want to say, well, come on. You can lay down with me. I'm just talking about relapse and recovery. No, cereal. You're fine. Hey, Holly. What's up, girl? You're doing good, buddy. You just had...
I only have 95% of fullness right now.
Nate, you just had toast, buddy. It's late. Okay?
I had a toast 8 million years ago.
Yeah. So, good job, Holly. I'm proud of you, girl. Congratulations on 131 days. That's amazing. Good job, Josh. I'm proud of you. 44 days. Good job. So, when you go back out after you've been sober for a little bit and you pick up, it's like you never left off. Do you understand what I'm saying? It's like your addiction it's like there's no break in it. It's just like it just connects and you just off. That's why it's so important, you guys, for you to be careful and be aware. Hey, do you want to change into some pajamas?
No.
You're going to sleep in that?
Can I tell you something?
Yeah.
I'm going to whisper to you, and then you tell them.
Okay. He said, if you guys have any kids, would they please friend him in Roblox? What's your name on Roblox?
Nate P7414.
His name is Nate P7414.
My display name is kind of...
What is it?
Nibbles Toes.
Nibbles Toes is his display name. Okay, hold on. I have to go to jail, and I've never been before. I'm so anxious. Oh, I got a DUI 14 months ago and just now convicted. Holly, don't worry. It's going to be okay. You have Curly Noodle? Find my little boy, okay? It's going to be okay, Holly. Listen to me. Are you just going to county jail? And how long do you got to do? His name is Nibbles Toes. So here's the thing with county jail, okay? It sucks. It's not fun. Basically, all you're going to do is watch TV and eat, okay? See if you can't have your parents send you some books in. Put money on your commissary so you have something to eat that's not the nasty jail food, you know? You only have to do 43 hours in the jail. Oh, you're going to be fine. Yeah, you're going to be fine. Don't even trip.
2 days?
Yeah.
2 days in like an hour.
Okay, so we gotta keep the beast at bay when we're sober, you guys. How do you guys keep your beasts at bay? What do you do to make sure that you don't go out and get high? You're gonna be just fine, Holly. Don't even worry. I'm telling you, girl, like when girls are locked up, what ends up happening is we end up sitting there and telling stories, gossiping. You'll be fine, okay? I promise you. I took step 1 when I admitted I was powerless over my addiction and that my life had become unmanageable, that I didn't have control no matter what I said to myself and others, and that it was getting worse. I knew I had no way out, that I had fear and shame, and that I didn't want to face, that I hoped I would never have to, that I would be able, through my will, to bend the world into making me feel all right somehow. Okay, I'm going to put that up because I'll read all of it. So, that's what I want to talk about. You watch my YouTube? Yay! I want to know how you guys keep your beasts at bay. Dawn says, I remember losing my kids. That is amazing, girl. Because Dawn, I do the same thing. So when I think about getting high, what I do is I automatically think about my son and handing him to CPS. Okay? That was the worst day of my life. And I never, ever want to have to put my son in that position ever again. Or myself, you know? Aw, same, Viv, same. Hey, Byron, what's up, baby? So, that's one of my biggest coping skills is looking back on my past, okay? You know, some people say, like, how do you do that? How do you not get depressed? I just know I don't ever want to have to go there again. I don't want my baby to ever have to experience that. And using that to motivate me helps so much. I remind myself that it would make his life worse, and it definitely wouldn't help anything. Absolutely. Absolutely. Good job. If I didn't have my son, I would probably, if I didn't have a kid and I was trying to keep my beast at bay, I would look back on my life and how it affected me negatively. Okay, so, hey, B-Love, so that would be for me, like going to prison, catching a charge, a Class C felony for possession. Like, I don't ever want to have to go through that again. So using and playing the tape all the way through is a game changer. If you can use your past mistakes as motivation to stay sober, do it, because it has saved my life. Now, if I'm really struggling and I feel like, man, I could make a mistake, then I'm calling somebody. Okay, and that's what I'm telling you guys right now. Do not be afraid to pick up the phone. Do not be afraid to send a message to somebody that you trust that's in recovery that can help you. Okay, no one is going to judge you. For the longest time, I was afraid that I was going to burn in people or that they were going to not like me. When you open up and you reach out to somebody, like I'll tell you this, when people reach out to me, I'm honored. I'm honored. I feel grateful that they trust me and that they believe in me enough to share their struggles with me. You know? Because I know how hard it is to open up and be honest about what you're going through when you're struggling with addiction. So when somebody comes to me, I say, hey, what's up? I got you. I'll help you, because I know how it is, you know? A lot of people reach out to me, and I try to do the best I can to give them, you know, good suggestions or just good encouragement, you know? I got lucky I didn't lose mine when I failed multiple tests, pregnant, and DCS got involved. You're very lucky, Holly. Very lucky. So what's another way that you guys keep your addiction at bay? Okay? Tell me some other things that you do. For me, coming here and making videos on social media helps me keep my addiction pushed away because I come on here and you guys help me stay accountable. I know I can't be up here getting all fucked up online because you guys are going to know and you're going to call me out. And so, hey Mel, what's up, girl? That helps me stay accountable. Another thing that helps me keep my beast at bay is really thinking about my family and how I have my relationship back with my mom and dad, and that I don't want to throw that away. I worked so hard to get to a point where my parents trust me again and they believe in me and they know without a shadow of a doubt that I'm sober and I'm doing good. I never want to change that, you know? When my son said he thought he would never see me sober, he thought he would be going to my funeral. Curly, that is a great, great thing to think of. That is amazing. And your son must be so smart. I did lose a lot of people I thought I would never turn on me opening up about my addiction. You know, when you open up about your addiction and people judge you for it, those people, you don't need them in your life, okay? Because anybody who would judge somebody for struggling with the disease of addiction, and those are the kind of people that think that you're choosing that life. Those are the kind of people that, you know, judgy. They started treating me different and talking about me, and I didn't do anything to them. Yeah, because when people do that, it's because they're ignorant, okay? When people don't understand something, they're ignorant and they're afraid. They're afraid of what they don't understand. I even have a key to my parents' house again after stealing. Yes, same. And my dad, listen to this, you guys. So the one way I know my dad for sure knows that I'm sober and doing the right thing is he gives me money now. For the longest time at the beginning, during my sobriety, for Christmas, he would give me a gift card. Now, he gives me cash money. You know? And so that's how I know, like, hey. And I don't want to go back. I don't want to go back to the life where my dad is wondering whether or not I'm going to live or die, or my mom, you know? My family is mad about me being pro-choice and won't even congratulate my recovery. Really? Fuck them. Here's the thing. I try not to discuss stuff like that, like politics, with anybody, so I don't get into arguments like that with my family or anything. So, Josh, that's awesome. Can I ask what your parents do for a living? Every time you talk about them, they seem amazing. My dad actually worked for the Postal Service for like over 30 years. He was in the Air Force, and then he joined the Postal Service, and he was a mail carrier for like 7 or 8 years, and then he was promoted to the manager, and then he was promoted to postmaster, which is the highest you can go, and he retired from there. And my mom worked with developmentally delayed children for about 10 or 11 years, and now she works for a company that does people's wireless internet. She is like the manager and like runs everything. Hey. So yeah, my parents are amazing. When I was growing up, my dad worked every single day. He worked really hard to make sure me and my sisters had everything that we needed in life. We were not rich at all, but my parents worked really hard to make sure we had a good life. I have a hard time trusting to be open in fear of that same stigma and rejection. Yeah, I totally understand that. Here's the thing. Like I said, people that don't understand, they're afraid. It makes them like feel uncomfortable. And so I get that all the time. Okay. I share a lot of crazy shit online, shit that most people won't even say to their own friends out loud. Right. And I share that online for millions of people to see. So I get it. I get a lot of fucking people talking shit to me. And so I try not to let what they say to me affect me. You know what I mean? Try to build your own support network. If your family isn't going to be supportive, then step away from your family and start getting connected with other people in recovery that can be your support system and cheer you on, you know? Yeah, I understand that. I cope with my trauma with humor through TikToks. Yeah. You guys, Holly, I don't know if you guys have ever checked out Holly's page, but Holly actually You want to tell him, Holly? She actually got her nose where it has a huge hole in it up here, and it was from snorting. And I actually made a video, and that's how we met each other because I saw her video, and I was like, "Holy shit! This girl is a miracle that she's alive," you know. And I showcased her here on my channel. She is a miracle, like for real. Yeah, here you go, baby. I sent you an invite. Um, I'm very proud of you. Very, very proud of you.
Oh.
I'm very proud of you. Very, very proud of you.
Oh.
Hey, girl.
Hold on, I'm trying to figure out my video. I've never done this before. There we go.
You did it. You did it.
So if anybody can't understand me, just let me know and I can repeat myself.
Okay.
But, very long use, about 12 years of pills, which never really did anything, and I'll put you in a minute. Just sit up for a minute. I'll let you say hi to everybody for just a minute. But 14 months ago is when the hole appeared. But about 3 years up until then, I was doing cocaine pretty heavily, and I only went up my nose. I wouldn't like do any other way I like to. And then when the hole developed, I didn't quit. That was about 14 months ago. I didn't quit and kept in it for 9 more months. So the hole turned into a mid-century like nothingness in my mouth. And 9 months later, when I finally like not clean and everything like that, but I haven't even made it to a doctor yet. I'm gonna find out on August the 9th what we can do next, because the doctor wouldn't even see me when I wasn't clean. Like they would see me for the infection and make sure I was in good health, but they would not touch my mouth if I wasn't clean, which I couldn't blame them. I wasn't mad about it.
That's how they are with Hep C too. Like if you don't have like a couple of years sober, they won't treat you for the Hep C. So I totally understand.
Yeah. But
so do you think that they're going to be able to do like reconstructive surgery where they like make a new palate and everything?
I mean, I would think they would be able to because they do cliff palate surgeries all the time where they rebuild the roof of the mouth and stuff. But if not, it might be a little like a partial piece that like I just put in my mouth. It's like the root that makes the roof of my mouth. But like I said, I don't know. I'm gonna be finding out everything for the first time on the 9th when I go in there. So,
girl, you know what you need to do? You need to make a YouTube channel and you need to document your whole process because people need to see this. People need to see you so they can understand how dangerous that using drugs can be, you know?
Yeah, I'm definitely gonna start getting into like the recovery counseling and everything like that. But they want you to be clean for so long before you do any of that. So I understand that too, I admit it. So I mean I just gotta wait it out and stay clean and stay on it. Come here. My daughter is dying to say hello to everyone that I'm talking to.
Hey, baby. How you doing? You're so pretty. Mwah. You're a gorgeous girl.
I got really lucky with most of mine because I used throughout most of my pregnancies, and I never stopped. But neither one of my children had it in their system when they were born. Neither one of them went through withdrawal. I got, like I said, I've been very lucky in that department.
Yeah, me too. I did the same thing, and that's one of the things that I have the most shame and guilt about. But I try not to be so hard on myself because I'm sober now. Same for you. We're sober now. We're with our babies. They have their moms, and that's what matters, you know.
Oh yeah, and like their intelligence. They're okay. My son's a straight A student. His IQ is off the charts for a 9-year-old. This one, her Head Start teacher already said she was going to be valedictorian one day. So, I mean, there's no, issues or... The only thing that we deal with a little bit more now is, with what we went through about 2 years ago with, my son's father. No, I'm closing the door on this one.
Can I ask you this? When the
Oh,
hole, how how did the hole start? Was it just like a little hole, and then it?
I woke up one day and it was about the size of a nickel. It wasn't there the day before, but it was there the next. Like I woke up and it was there,
Wow,
and it
wow!
just
And
slowly,
it did it start in here
slowly.
or on the roof of your mouth?
Oh no, I haven't had a septum, and I lost my septum years ago. I probably 5 or 6 years into doing pills, I lost my septum. But they said they didn't say it was the cocaine that did it, but they ruled every other possible thing that it could have been out.
Yeah.
And cocaine, it constricts the blood, the sorry, red blood cells, and they don't move as fast. And so it constricted it here, and since I'm anemic, it just kind of ate away at my uvula.
Damn, you are a mirror. I just had to. I wanted you to come up here because every time I hear you tell the story or talk about it, like I think back to my life and I think, like, damn, that I could have been the same way. It could have happened to me too. You know what I mean?
Yep.
That's how serious it is. Like these drugs are not. It's not a joke, man. People are
Yeah.
dying. You know what I mean?
Okay, anytime you want me to talk about it, or if anybody, I'm more than happy to talk about all
You know
of it.
what I want to do? I haven't seen you in forever because some reason like TikTok doesn't show. You know how it is over here. But will you
Oh,
send me a DM? Because what I would like to do is do a video with you where I record it and then we post it on YouTube and my Facebook page. So that
yeah.
way, and you can share it too. Like if you decide to make a YouTube, you can put it on there too. But where I interview you and you talk about it. Would that be okay?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
And I mean,
I'm proud of you, girl.
if you want to go through the rest of all the trauma that I've endured and why I'm not, we can go through the whole thing. Because I mean, I also have the story of my son's father accidentally killing himself. He was choking himself out with a bra while he was jerking off, and he pulled too hard, and he died autoerotic asphyxiation.
Oh
Like,
wow.
he killed himself by choking to death on his own, and then his son found him 36 hours later.
Wow, I'm so sorry that happened. How long have you been sober now? Tell everybody how long you've been sober.
131 days.
Hey, I'm really proud of you, girl. I'm
And,
really proud of
but you
you.
know what? I'm not, like, it's so weird for me. Like, I woke up every day for 9 months and was like, I know I don't need to be doing this drugs. I know I don't need to do this. I'm just making it worse. And then I woke up on March 8th and I was like, I have to do something. And I locked myself up in my house for 2 weeks, turned off my phone. I didn't go to a rehab. I haven't seen, like, in meetings or anything. I don't know, something just kicked in and I
I'm
haven't
proud of
touched
you.
them.
I'm proud of you. You did the damn thing. Well, I love you, Holly. I'm gonna let you go, and then I'm gonna let a soul snatcher come talk now. Okay?
All right, I'll send you a message that way we can together figure it out.
Okay, baby. Love you.
Nah.
Okay, what's up, baby? Josh, right?
Hey, Nicole. Yeah, yeah. How you
Okay,
doing?
what's up? I'm
Uh,
good. What about you,
not.
bub?
I'm better now. I've had a rough about 2 weeks, but
What?
um,
Go ahead.
I uh, I was on 150 milligrams of methadone, and I stopped cold turkey 2 weeks ago, and
Wow.
it's been hell. It's been the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
What made you decide to do that? Cold turkey.
Well, funny story is, I'm from Kansas originally, and I've been in Washington State for 20 years. I did an interview with you on, I think,
I know.
YouTube one time or
I
something. Yeah,
know.
yeah.
I know who you are.
So, right, right, right,
I
right.
didn't
So,
forget.
right, right. So, I moved, or I'm sorry, I'm living in Washington, but I had to come down to Kansas, see my family, take a vacation, things like that. And I got down here, and my 75-year-old grandmother, who has a bulging disc in her back, was running circles around me, and I was tapping out at 6 o'clock because I was tired, because all I've done for the past 18 months is lay in my bed 22 hours a day. And that that messed with my head really bad. And so I was like, and I had taken the clinic in Washington gave me a month's worth of stuff, and I dumped the rest of it down the drain. I dumped it all down the toilet and was like, I'm done. I'm cool. And that was like 2 weeks after I got here, and I've been here. I had actually had to postpone my train, not because of that, but because of exposure to COVID. But it's been hell. Holy cow! I actually sent you a text. From, I don't know. It must have been an old number or something, because I had a
On my
text
cell
from you.
phone?
Yeah,
You
and
sent
I
it to
sent
the
you a
991
text.
number, didn't you?
I don't know. It was just the number that you had sent to me, or you sent me a text first, because I hit you in I hit you in DM and said, "Hey, I need to talk to you,"
Uh-huh.
and then I never responded back, and I can't even remember what I was going to talk to you about back then. But when I was going through it, I was like, if anybody knows anything of how to help this, it's going to be her. So I sent a text back to that number, and I never heard anything back. So, and then just right now, I saw you on live, and I was like, oh, let me see if I can talk to her real quick. But
Yeah, and you probably have that old 9915149 number. I don't have it anymore. My number
okay,
is 501-258-1833.
okay, I will.
But I
Do
mean,
you get
you're
DMs
two
on
weeks
here?
out. You're 2 weeks off of methadone.
Yeah, yeah,
How do you
2
feel?
weeks, like shit,
Oh, I'm so sorry.
like a train ran over me.
Yeah, I imagine
Yeah,
so. Well,
yeah,
damn man, that's a lot. Okay, so you're on meth. How long were you on it? A long time?
2 years.
Yeah. So your
Yeah,
body is trying to get back to the way it was before, like it's trying to heal itself,
yeah,
and catch up
yeah.
to itself. And so,
Right.
man, you're strong for doing that.
Listen, I tell you, the first like 3 days, um, the first 3 days was just, oh my God, miserable. Like the fourth day, I ate mushrooms, I smoked weed, I drank a fifth of rum, and I didn't feel. Oh, and I took Xanax, and I didn't feel anything except for pain, just complete pain still. And I knew when I didn't trip off the mushrooms, I knew I was in for a long road, because I mean, I ate enough that I should have, had a fun time. But the
I
only thing that
believe that
happened.
methadone and Suboxone block you from being able to get the benefits of mushrooms.
Well, the reason why I even took the mushrooms is because I was looking online. I'm like, what? There has to be something. And they're microdosing people with
Yeah,
psilocybin mushrooms to help them get off of opioids. So I was like, hey, cool, let me eat that whole eighth right there because I feel like shit right now. And it
yeah.
just did not work at all. Um, and then after the first 4 days, the body stuff is still there. And I would go. I couldn't sit still. I couldn't sit. I couldn't sleep. I ended up in the ER because I went nuts with the no sleep. I finally went to the ER on like day 11. No, day 8. Day 8. I'm sorry. Went on like day 8 and was like, you got to just put me to sleep. I need some sleep. I'm starting to hallucinate. I'm starting to hear things. I know it's not real. And I just explained to him, listen, I'm sorry. I'm not here for drugs, but I'm here because of drugs. And it's pharmaceutical stuff. Not, I'm not using like on the streets, but this is the same stuff. It's just, I, I didn't understand. I didn't know the consequences of methadone when I got on it. I got on it mainly primary because of my anxiety and because I was scared of using. I had just done all that time in the joint,
Yeah.
and I was nervous and I was scared as hell, and I didn't want to use. So they put me on Suboxone in the prison. I had a
Uh,
prescription the day before I left, and I got on Suboxone, and it made my anxiety way worse. And they wouldn't give me anything for the anxiety. So
because you're
then,
on the Suboxone.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. So then when I stopped taking the Suboxone, I started feeling like I was sick. And at the time, this person that I was with, she's like, no, you're having withdrawals from the Suboxone. I'm like, no, there's no withdrawals from Suboxone, because they never told me that there was withdrawals. They didn't
Yeah,
never told me
it's
that.
an opioid. Yeah.
Right. They, from my understanding at the time, I know now, but at that time it's a blocker. It's not, it's not gonna
Right.
do anything.
The Vivitrol is what you should
So,
have got. The Vivitrol shot. That's just the naltrexone.
right. The problem they offer that to me, and the problem that I have with that is it lasts for so long. So if you have an allergic reaction to it, if there's anything that goes wrong with it, you're screwed because that it lasts forever. So I was like, I'm not going to put something in me that lasts that long. But now I just got to the point now, like I was telling a story 20, probably 15 years ago. So I went into a detox place and was like, listen, I have a girl who's pregnant. I love her. I'm about to have a kid. I want to quit. I need help. I want to get off this. And he looked right at me and told me, you're going to fail. And I said, what? Did you not hear what I said? I got all this stuff going on in my life. He said, you're going to fail because you're not ready for yourself. And I never understood that. I never understood that. This was a licensed chemical dependency person telling me
I would
this.
never say that to anybody. You know, I got
Right?
sober for my son. My
Right?
son is the reason why I got sober.
Right? I
And
was
I used
so,
my son as motivation. Okay,
yeah,
so like I didn't get sober because I wanted to. I got sober because my son got taken away from me. And my
right,
son, I used him as motivation until I decided to get sober for me and love myself. But
right,
my son
right.
absolutely saved my life.
Yeah. And see, and for me, I I have to now I have to agree with that guy because I did fail. I went right back on use because I wasn't ready, but now I am. I'm done. I don't want to use it no more. I don't, I don't
Yeah.
I don't care. And now I'm on, like, this is 2 weeks now. This is the second week. And so it's not my it's not my I just choose not to do it no more. So I it's hard though. The racing thoughts, can't sleep, can't eat, can't can't do anything. But working out, uh continuously working out like all day, going to the lake, just doing whatever I can to keep my mind off of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm proud of you, dude. You did the damn thing. Have you I don't I'm not suggesting this to you. I'm just telling you um that a lot of people take kratom when they're in a situation like you are, where they're
Hmm.
going through withdrawals and they've been really sick, and they use it to help them ease the withdrawal. And I've heard that it works really well. Um, but I mean, if you, I don't want to encourage you to do anything like that because you're totally off of
Yeah.
methadone. That's a
Yeah. Yeah.
huge
Yeah.
accomplishment, and I don't want you to
Yeah.
go out and get
No.
kratom and then get hooked on that. You know what I mean? But
Right.
it,
No,
people tell me about it. They say it helps them a lot.
yeah, I got a support group in a Facebook. I'm in a Facebook support group, and they were trying to encourage me to do that in the beginning. And I was like, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want that. What I did do, and what does help, what I did find out is high doses of vitamin C.
Yeah,
Like,
there's a girl on
the,
YouTube who made a video about that. Mally Mouse on YouTube.
oh, really?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
got to go watch
this
her
person,
video. I'll send you the link to it.
yeah,
It's the same thing, the high dose vitamin C and some other
yeah,
supplements.
yep. I took, but it has to be SA vitamin C. There's two types. There's AA and there's SA, and you want the SA type, and it does help. I took 5,000 milligrams at first, and then it was 2,000 milligrams every 2 hours of that, and it helped. It helped a lot, but you have to take it with Imodium because it does hurt the stomach a little bit, but
Oh,
it helped. It helped a little bit, and so now I'm just trying to get. Now my body's just. I feel like it's cold all the time, and it's just like trying to rebalance itself. Is what it feels like.
yep.
That's what I
Yeah.
feel like I'm going through.
Dude, you're
But when I
2 weeks
called my
out. That's a
clinic,
miracle.
yeah,
You know that, right? Like that's a high
what's
dose of
that?
methadone to come off of cold turkey.
Oh, when I called and told my clinic what I did, they flipped out on me. They freaked out on me. They told me my counselor freaked out on me, asked me if I was going crazy and stuff, and I was like, no, I'm just done. And I told her, I was just calling her out of respect to let her know, and then she hung up. 2 hours later, my provider called me and ordered me to go to the next town and dose, and I said, no, I'm not doing it. And she's like, you can have seizures, you can have this, you can have that. And I said, look, it's been over 5 days now. I ain't had no seizures yet. I'm not getting back on this stuff. And like, they were really trying to push me to get back on it. I was like, no, I'm cool. I don't.
He was on 150 milligrams, Jennifer. 150. Yeah, I wouldn't have recommended you to go back on it. Now, if I was the provider, I would have said, okay, can I call you in some comfort meds to help you get through this process? That's what I would have done if I was a doctor.
That's what they did. That's what they did.
Like Ativan, gabapentin, Klonidine, something like that to help you, to ease the withdrawal a little bit, to help you out, Yeah.
They didn't do none of that. The only thing, when I went to the hospital, they gave me Zofran for the nausea. They gave me fluids because I didn't drink or eat anything for it was like 72 hours. I was so dehydrated. Everybody was like, you have to go. You look like you're a death right now. And so I did. I ended up going, and they gave me like 2 or 3 bags of fluids, and then gave me that stuff for my stomach, and that was it. That's all I've had. I've taken some Imodium, vitamin C. I've taken some melatonin, which I will say this. First of all, I don't recommend anybody stopping at that high of a dose at all. It is horrible. It's terrible. But if you do not take melatonin, because
made it worse, didn't it? Made your restless leg worse.
Way worse. Oh,
that's what I've heard. Yep.
Oh my
I heard
God.
that.
I was.
Go ahead.
Terrible. Yeah. Don't take that.
I've also heard people taking Benadryl, and it made it even worse. Yes. It made their restless legs go worse.
Yes, Benadryl. Yes, I took Benadryl, Vistaril, and melatonin. Do not take any of those. Well, I mean, I don't want to say that. I'm not a doctor, but just be careful with what you take, because some things will make it worse, and those things made it worse for me. What I found to work was Zofran for my stomach, some Imodium for my stomach, drink lots of water, and stay as active as you possibly can.
Yeah. What are you doing now? Are you okay now? You said you're working out. That's really good. Like keeping your body moving, working out, going for walks, so that way you can get all that stuff and sweat it out of you. Now what's going to happen though, it's the depression and the post-acute withdrawal. So now that you're off of all that stuff, now what you got to start doing is getting yourself like into some kind of like I said, like recovery not treatment, but like a therapy, and then like recovery meetings and groups where you can be around other people that understand what you're going through, and start talking like positive, like doing your gratitude in the morning, thanking your higher power for helping you to get off 150 milligrams, and start using that. Will help you to stay sober and off of all the stuff. Start maybe even on your YouTube channel, like tell everybody, I just came off 150 milligrams of methadone, and I'm going to be documenting my progress, and use your YouTube channel as like a diary to show your progress in sobriety. That will help you too, because it helped me stay sober.
Oh, it is. The thing that helps me the most is, like I said, I got a group in my Facebook. I try not to, even though I'm on TikTok right now, I try not to make all that too public, because I don't think it's everybody's business, but whatever. But the Facebook group is super supportive, and that's what got me from day 1 to day 5 to day 7, and all the people that were commenting and DMing me, and I mean, it was overwhelming. There was a lot of "you're crazy as hell" type, stuff, and you shouldn't do that. But there was also, along with that, they were also telling me, good job, keep it up, stay strong, and all that stuff, and that really, really helped.
Yeah. It's having people that like can support you and cheer you on, man. It makes a big difference. I mean, I know, believe me, it helps me so much, because sometimes when I'm to myself, I'll get in my own mind and I'll like start, you know, like you probably did. You're probably, oh, I can't do this. I need to go back on. And then you come on and you
Yeah.
talk to everybody and they're like, you're doing great. Keep going. And they're like,
Yeah.
okay, I'm going to keep
Yeah.
going. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yep. That's exactly what it is.
But as a
And on
man,
top
I
of,
bet you had a lot of bad side effects for methadone at that high of a dose. You weren't
oh,
shitting, couldn't get your dick hard. What else?
listen, I did,
Am I right?
I wasn't, yeah, I wasn't going to bring it all up, but Bings, you did. When I went off of it, so from like day 4 to like day 9 or 10, my balls hurt so bad. And I couldn't figure out
Yep.
why. I was like, what in the hell is going on? I thought it was something totally different, but I know I'm no doctor, but I think it was because my whole body was asleep for like, I was at 180 at one point, and then I went back down to 150. So I was on high doses. I had to go have a damn echocardiogram done before they would even give me I was at 180. That's when I had to do the test. So I was on a high dose for a long time, and all this stuff wasn't working. And then all of a sudden, when I quit taking it all, everything came to life. My brain, everything, anything that you can even imagine, things that you didn't even know weren't working, all of a sudden they start working, and you're like, what the hell is this? And and now it's just like you said, the mind stuff. So now it's just my controlling my thoughts, staying out of the depression, you know, working out. That is my therapy. That's what keeps me, mentally sound. So yeah, no, you're
Yeah.
right. Everything came to life at once, and just, I mean,
That
whew,
happens, when you come off of it like that. I talk to all kinds of guys, so it's not a big deal. But they tell me that, like, and I know this because I talk to everybody about their opiate withdrawals. But that is a huge thing that happens, and they're
yeah,
super aroused, and they're like,
yep,
"What is
yep,
going on?" I don't know about that.
yeah,
And it's
yeah,
because your dingling was suppressed, and all
yep,
that stuff wasn't coming down, and now it's all coming down at one time. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yep. You're right. You're absolutely right. That's exactly what happened. And
And have you been able to poop? How's the pooping going?
well, yeah. Oh, I'm good now. Yeah, couldn't stop pooping. Couldn't stop throwing up
Yeah,
or pooping
but
for
when
like a
you're up on
week.
a high dose, I know I used to take a high dose of methadone too, and I would get so constipated it would be like so bad it would be
Yes,
impacted
yes,
all the way up to my
yes.
chest.
Yes,
You know?
yes. They told me I went into the hospital several times because of GI stuff, and every time they would tell me you're full of shit, like just literally go. You need you're so yeah, and so yeah, I know and now I've lost. Oh, the other thing in let's see. Well, I've been down here for over a month now, but I've lost 40 pounds in a month. I know it's not the healthiest way to lose it, but that
Hey,
I feel a lot better. I feel way better. And so yeah, yeah, I don't recommend doing it that way, but I'm an extreme person. So like, and this is kind of how I explained it to my family was unless I am unless I feel like I'm on the brink of death, I'm probably going to use again. And
right.
I've I've came off Percocet. Listen, Percocet is a wet dream compared to dealing with this stuff. This stuff is
Yep.
a whole different animal. And I told my family, listen, unless I feel like I'm about to die, I can't. I don't think I will get. I don't think I'll stay clean. But I know that the reason why I'm going through all this is because I don't ever want to use again, and I know it's just I know that this is the worst of the worst, and it'll get better.
Yeah.
And that's how I've had to look at it because, and not once did I ever say I wanted to use again. I never said I wanted methadone again. I never, I didn't even think it. I just knew what I had to do, and it was hard, very hard.
You're
And
at a different place in your life now. When you get to that point
absolutely,
where you just don't want to use anymore, you've seen the consequences, you've seen how it affected your life, you've been to prison before,
yeah,
and you just don't want to live that life anymore. Like
right,
it's a lot easier to get and stay sober when you don't want to live like that anymore. You know what I'm
yes,
saying? Now I'll tell you
yes,
this. like you might, but you still got to be careful though now. Like I'm telling you, make sure you get into some kind of like therapy or support, because
Oh, I'm
there
in
are
therapy.
instances where these little thoughts will come into your mind, or maybe you'll be out with friends and they're all doing something, and it could
Hmm.
be, it's just like those little things that happen sometimes, you know what I mean? Because
Right.
I absolutely do not want to get high anymore. But I'll tell you this, like my sister came down for Christmas a couple of years ago, and she's
Hmm.
prescribed Xanax, and she had it in her purse, and it made me feel so uncomfortable. I had to have her
Hmm.
take her purse out to the truck and lock it up, because I was
Yep.
afraid I was going to get in there and steal one of them motherfuckers,
Yep. Yep.
you
Yep.
know? And I had like
Yep.
4 years sober back then.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yeah. That's, an addict's mind is, an addict's mind. And I told my kids that when I die, I want them to research my brain, because I'm very interested to know because I know that there's something weird in my head, because I don't think like everybody else, and especially when it comes to addiction, I'm so extreme with it, and I think there has to be something in there that's different than just quote unquote normal people. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I told them I wanted to offer my brain to science so they could study it, just out of curiosity. Even though I won't
Yeah,
know, my family will know. Yeah.
that's cool. I'm proud of you, man. Good job. And
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Like I now you have my real phone number, and I'll send it to you in a DM too after this.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Do that.
but you could call me or text me anytime. You know that. And
Yeah.
if I had known that you had texted me, I promise I would have called you right back, because I
Oh,
always try to be
yeah.
supportive, you know?
Yeah, I figured it was a bad number. I didn't push the issue just because it was just because I was just sick and I was feeling like crap. I was desperate. I was so desperate at that time, and that's when I found the vitamin C stuff. But at that time, I would have drank battery acid if you would have gave it to me and told me it would have made me feel better. Like, it was that bad. I mean, and
Yeah.
emotionally, oh my God, the emotional part. That's the other part I forgot about. I was writing books to my kids, to my all my family members. Guilt was just right. Oh my God, I could not believe how much I have over 1,000 hours in therapy. Like, I've been doing therapy for a long time now, and I thought I dealt with almost all the stuff that I was feeling, but I just had all these racing thoughts and feelings and couldn't stop crying. I was crying one minute,
Yep. Brian.
laughing the next minute, and then ready to rip somebody's face off the very next second. Like, just in that succession. Like, the anger was the biggest problem for me, especially through like day 4 through day 8. It was the anger. Like, I was ready to just oh my God. Like, I didn't go out in public because I almost beat up a store clerk for no reason. And I was like, whoa, I'm tripping. I gotta get out of here. So
Yeah.
yeah, the emotional part is, oh my God, horrible.
It's because all your emotions are rushing back. Like, I will admit, like, even me, I'm on a 0.25 of a milligram of Suboxone. Even that little itty bitty sliver of Suboxone, like, I can tell that I'm a very emotional person. I'm very in touch with my feelings. Y'all know I cry a lot because I feel very passionate about things. Even on that little bit amount that I know, I still know that it kind of like suppresses my feelings. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah.
imagine, being on 150 milligrams of methadone. It's like, it's not that you're like not, it's like you're kind of like diluted. That's what it is. It's
Yeah.
like it makes you
Yeah.
kind of like, say, like your regular self would be like a spicy Dr. Pepper, but when you take methadone, it's like taking half the Dr. Pepper and dumping it out and filling the other half with water.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You're numb.
Yeah.
You're numb
So it
for
helps you
take
to, it really is a
that stuff.
lot of
You're
feelings
numb.
that
It's
come
just,
back.
it numbs you.
Man, you're a fucking trooper for doing that.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to do that. That's
So
fucking psycho.
I don't, I don't recommend it. I don't recommend it at all.
But I understand what you're
So,
saying. Like, you
but
went over there
anyways,
to
I'm
see,
like,
you saw your grandma and she was running loops around you. Were like, damn, I need to get my shit together because my grandma's fucking lapping me and I can't even keep up with her. So I understand what you're saying.
yeah, I was going to bed at like 6 o'clock. I was like, I need some sleep, man. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, it's rough. Hello, Renee. I see you. But
But
anyways, yeah, I just wanted to get on here and say I saw you, and so I wanted to say hi and just share my story with you
I can't believe you.
and let you
I
know what
listen,
was going on.
people. I remember who you are. I know I interviewed you on my YouTube channel. You think I would never forget that.
No, no, I just was trying to stroke the memory a little bit. That's all. Make sure. That's all.
Well, maybe when
Yeah.
you feel a little bit better, you can come on and share. We can do a dedicated video to like methadone detox, cold turkey with Josh, and then you could
Yeah.
tell everybody
Yeah.
exactly what happened. Okay.
Yeah. I'll do that. Absolutely.
All right, man. I love you. I'll let
Cool.
you leave then. Okay.
All right. Thanks for your love and support.
You're welcome. Talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay. So that's Josh, you guys. I actually have an interview with him over on my YouTube channel. I can find it for you guys if y'all are interested in seeing it. Um, we did it. It was 2 years ago when he came on my channel, and we met on YouTube. He has a prison channel, and whenever I started to like really get into my prison experience, I met a lot of guys in the prison community. But he jumped off of 150 milligrams of methadone cold turkey, which, like I said, not recommended. But we are so glad that you made it and that you're healthy and you're okay. That's a huge, huge jump, you know. Patsy was asking something, and I wanted to see what she said. I just wish I could make him understand he's better than that stuff. Uh, your husband, he's using drugs. It's hard to see him when he's on it because when the few times he gets clean, he's a better person. Yeah. It's hard whenever we have our significant others and they're getting fucked up. You know what I mean? Because we love them, we care about them, we want them to be healthy, and seeing them hurting themselves, it hurts us, just like Josh and me were talking about, like every person has to get to a certain point in their addiction where they finally say, you know what? I don't want to live my life like this anymore. You know what I mean? Oh, a good friend. Okay. And that at that time, it's different for every person. You know what I mean? Like, and I can tell you this, there was many times where I wanted to get sober and I tried, but then I fell back. You know what I mean? And so it's hard. It's hard. Everything in your life has to change. Okay. You don't just stop doing drugs and that's it. Like every single thing in your life has to change. And that was one of the reasons why I couldn't stay sober for so long, because I couldn't change everything. I was still holding on to old parts of me. Do you know what I'm saying? So, anyways, I'm going to go lay down. I'm getting tired, you guys. I hope y'all enjoyed hanging out with me tonight. I feel like this was a really good live. I feel like we talked about a lot of stuff and hung out, and it was good. It was good. Did y'all enjoy it? Yeah. If it was easy, listen to me. If getting sober was easy, everybody would be doing it. There wouldn't be addiction. It would be all healed and all done. You know what I mean? Love you, Sarah. That's Josh. If you guys want me to, let me see where his interview is at. Hold on. I'll show y'all real fast. Boop. Oh, playlists. Okay. Okay, you'll go under my playlists, and then you'll go to interviews, and then, it's going to be down here a little bit. Josh. Kayla. Laura, Kathleen, Brian, Sean. There he is. J.O. from Validated Prison Stories. Right here.
I've been a member for about 6-7 years.
Hold on. Hey.
Hey guys, what's up? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel.
So, like I said, you'll go to the playlist interviews, and then you'll slide all the way down, and it's J.O. from Validated Prison Stories. That's that interview. What I'll do is I'll share it on my Facebook in my community tab. For those of you guys that can't find it, I'll share it on Facebook so you can go grab it real fast, okay? Hey, Patsy, you have to take care of you, okay? You have to set those boundaries. If being around him makes you feel not well and makes you feel uncomfortable, then baby, you don't go around him, okay? You got to keep yourself happy and healthy, okay? If you can't be of service to anybody if you're not healthy and happy, okay? So, I love you guys. I'm going to go lay down. I will share that video over on my Facebook page so you guys can find it right away. And I'll see you guys tomorrow night, okay? All right. Love you guys. Good night.